Right, let's get a new vlog started. Right, we're out and about. We're in Skegness. Lee, what did you fancy for your tea tonight?
Pizza.
I said pizza. So I don't think we've had a pizza from here, have we? But we're going to go into, and we've been here a few times now, it's not cheap, but it's very, very good. We're going to Burger Nation. The burgers here are absolutely delightful. Going for a big pizza meat feast. You want to see the food here is so nice. Look how much what is on the menu here. Look at all of this. What am I going for? Big Daddy. Going for a Big Daddy 12-ounce handmade Angus double beef patty, flame grilled, double melted cheese, topped with 2 fried eggs, gherkin, burger relish, and a sweet chilli sauce. I'm starving, mate. It'd be nice if we had a bacon and egg sandwich this morning, wouldn't it? What are we going to have tomorrow?
No idea.
I think, you know what? I think we might have chicken wings. Right, we'll have a quick look inside Lee's box. And I'll open mine up when I get home. Lee will be off into his room with his thing. Right, Lee, just have a quick examination of yours. Oh, crikey, that looks nice, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You starving?
Bit.
Right, okay. I'm joined by Sandra. You got a fur coat on. Well, an artificial fur coat. I've been ill again. Two days running. I've not been well.
But you're never ill.
I've not been ill since 2019.
I think it's because he made the mistake of saying it. He's jinxed himself.
I think I've had the lurgy. Definitely lurgied. Right, I've had a productive day, even though I've been ill. Well, all the furniture's been out of the living room. You can't probably see anything, and it's all with our had the vax sound. We've vaxed all the carpet and everything. Anyway, what day is it, Sandra?
I'm trying to do some maths here, so that's the only reason I'm pausing.
It's Monday.
It's Monday, this is true.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Well, I said, what day is it?
Monday the 24th of March.
There you are.
So that's why I'm wearing fur coat.
Wear a fur coat on a Monday? Weird, eh?
Only when it's 24th of March.
Right. Yeah, but you not wore a fur coat on the 24th of March for 5 years.
No? You hope not, anyway. Anyway, yes. But how many years is it, though?
Right here. So our wedding anniversary.
Wedding anniversary.
So
that's why I'm looking puzzled because I'm still trying to do some maths here. So.
Oh, well, Sandra does some maths. So we've not, I think, in the last 5 years, 18 years we've been married. Bloody hell. The longest marriage in my life.
By a long way.
By a long way, by several years. I was trying to rack, so I said to Sandra yesterday, and I wasn't feeling too good yesterday, I was really poorly the day before, should we go and have something to eat? And then Sandra said, oh, we never eat out on our wedding anniversary. She turned around and said, we never eat out on our wedding anniversary.
I remember the first time we did.
Oh, so we have eaten out.
Do you remember the first time we did?
Oh yeah, of course I do. What do you do? I do.
No, you don't.
I do. I
dragged you out.
I remember having a couple of beers.
No, I dragged you out because I said, it's 10 years, we've got to properly celebrate 10 years. This is literally a miracle. I said, you're going out, and I made you go out, didn't I? That was the first time we ever went out for a wedding anniversary.
So up on Facebook memories, only you've probably not been on Facebook today, but I've just been tagging you into all the meals we've had. From wow chows to pizzas to bump, and I've loads of meals. But I am going to come to one, exceptionally one, in a moment. But one of the downfalls of being the campsite warden for the last 5 years is we have always been apart. So we have had a belated anniversary meal, and my birthday's coming up as well, and we've never been together for 5 years on our wedding anniversary.
Or your birthday.
Or my birthday. So that's been one of the nightmares. Anyway, what I've got Sandra today, I've got her some. I was going to. So we don't really do buy flowers, but I was going to get some daffodils. They didn't have. I couldn't find any daffodils. So it's not.
What's in the garden? You could have just picked some.
Well, I got you some of them. How about that? So that's another thing.
Thank you.
Good. And I got you some. I got you some coffee beans.
Some coffee beans.
Yeah. So there you are.
You were asking the other day. This is a bit of a tangent, but I wrote on the shopping list to get some coffee, and Neil didn't know what to get, so I said to Lee, "Do you want to choose some coffee?" And you don't know why Lee chose this. Do you know?
Taylor's.
Yeah, I think they told it. It's Taylor's.
Great. So that's what I've got, Sandra. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what
Nice.
Sandra's got me. So, right, we can exchange.
Got you a card.
What?
We never, like, for a decade it was just card by the kettle. That's the tradition. Card by the kettle. I was fine with that. All good.
Yeah, but
And now you're just bigging it up and bigging it up.
you know, so thanks, Sandra, for getting me a box of licorice, all sorts. Thank you. It's unopened and everything, but you should have put to my darling husband. Look, I got myself.
The main thing is, like, every year that goes by, it's just like a miracle. Like, how did we do another year? Isn't it? It's just like a miracle.
I don't know. Well, this year's been an interesting one, but it's our first wedding anniversary in our Lincolnshire home, so we are going to go out for an Italian. Which all being well, we'll take you with us to a new Italian we've not been to before in Skegness. Is it Aroma? Aroma. But Sandra was saying yesterday afternoon, we were talking about should we have a meal? We never have a meal, innit? Sandra, can you just? We have spoken about this in the past, but for our new viewers, they won't know the story. But can you explain about one special anniversary meal that we had?
That was the 10th. That was the first time ever when I dragged you out.
What happened?
Well, Neil's a little bit better these days, but back then he was the worst for being like a teenager glued to his phone constantly, and you couldn't get him off his phone even when we were out with the family, and it was a bit of a nightmare, to be honest. So I said to him, "You're coming out for me, and it's our 10th, you're going to make an effort, and you're not looking at your phone." And his hands were twitching. I said, "No, like,
so
over my dead body, you're not getting your phone out in the restaurant."
This was in the days when Twitter was probably at its full-on peak, and I was well into Twitter. But anyway, go on.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, that was it. And then I think about halfway through the night meal, he said, "Would it be okay if we go to the pub afterwards? Because he might need to check his phone." I was like, well, at least it's not during the meal. So it's like, if you really must. Anyway, but unbeknownst to me, what was happening in your pocket, Neil?
So we went to a place called, it's no longer there now, it's called the Hilal, an Indian in Timpley Village. Those who know the area will know the legendary Hilal. And Sandra had given me strict instructions to stay off Twitter. So my phone remained on the table. In England, we're playing Wales on this particular. I'm not into football. I've got no interest in football.
I think it must have been in your pocket, otherwise I would have heard it. But anyway, I didn't notice anything.
Right. I think it was on silent. So we're in this meal. At this point in my life, it wasn't particularly uncommon for the press to want a story off me for things. It wasn't. It's all in another life. I mean, everybody's going to think I'm making it up. But it wasn't uncommon for an incident to happen where we used to live, and the press want to react. Anyway, we're having a meal, and my phone is vibrating, zzz, 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 and it's non-stop. And it wasn't a phone call; it was to do with Twitter. So I'm now thinking, right, somebody's tagging me in on Twitter. What's going on, or why am I being associated with something on Twitter? And it was bad. My phone was going 10 to the dozen. Anyway, we had the meal, and true to form, I left the phone, but I knew it was something major happening. So we went to the pub, and then I opened up my phone to be greeted with not singles, not tens, not hundreds, but thousands, what later run into tens of thousands, but thousands of very, very, very abusive messages. Like, to the extent people are going to come and rip my eyes out, they're going to come and kill my wife, my house is going to get burnt down, and I am being threatened in the most incredible way. Like, really, I mean, really, really, really bad. What actually happened was on that night, I'm going to get this right now, there was, I believe, a Welsh footballer called Neil Taylor. I think he was Welsh.
So I think he normally played for Liverpool, but he was playing for the Welsh team that night, if I remember correctly.
And Neil Taylor, the footballer, wasn't on Twitter. And it turned out that Neil Taylor, the footballer, had fouled somebody from the England squad. I think he broke his leg. So everybody in the country was out to get Neil Taylor. To the extent that they found my account. And I've been tweeting, oh, just going off having a curry with a wife, or going to have a few beers. And people, now we know why you've been playing like you played. You've been drinking beer, you've been out for a curry, and really, 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 really bad. But I ended up doing some graphics, and I sort of turned it around and saying, like, I've got no interest in football. And it went on for hours and hours and hours. And it become...
He put up a picture when he was 10 years old, which I think was the last time you played football.
I put something like, I don't play football. Last time I played football I was age 10. Here's a picture of me with the tracksuit. We lost 10-0 or something. But the press picked it up, and I still believe if you go on Google now, or a search engine, just Google Neil Taylor Twitter abuse. Just go now. Write that down. Neil Taylor Twitter abuse. And I do believe some of the stories, it went global, this.
But because we're not particularly football watchers, either of us, that was a Saturday night, got to the Sunday morning, I thought, well, I better check. Because we were joking it might end up in the papers, like literally joking. I thought, well, I better check. So I checked Sunday papers. And you were in the sports section.
It was
in the Sun,
it was in every newspaper. There wasn't, I don't believe there was
Daily Mail, I can't remember, it was like all...
There wasn't a newspaper, it wasn't in, and it went massive in Ireland and obviously in Wales. And then football clubs were getting in touch with me, going, well, if you don't like football, we would be given free invites to go and watch football matches. But anyway, that was our wedding anniversary. So we do go out on our wedding anniversary, and I gave you a massive event.
But not for 10 years.
We went out... 2019, before I went campsite warden in pre-COVID, we were out. We were at wow chow wows.
So out of the 18 years, you've been away for 6 years.
5.
And the first 10 years we didn't do anything. So
Yes, we did.
No, we didn't.
We did. We just took you out for a curry. And I thought, I'm not going bloody out again, because last time you went out for a fair, I ended up being abused on Twitter. Right, listen.
Anyway.
So that's been a very long, very, very, very long waffle. We're going to go and my head's not right. I don't know what. I think I've had some kind of food poisoning. I think on Friday I had some outdated fish, and I think I was ill on Saturday as well. Anyway, I'm going to go and get a glass of water, and I think have something light. I'm sure a couple of beers will help. Salad. Have I called you salad?
Salad.
Why did I just call you salad? Right, salad. Do you like your flowers?
They're very yellow, thank you.
They're identifying as daffodils.
Just got some daffodils out of the garden. What you like? I wouldn't mind.
Because you turn round. The other week she turned round and says, you never buy me flowers, and you had flowers on Valentine's Day. Always buy your flowers. You've got no idea. Just no idea. Right, now let's I've had to put the flowers in a pint pot because I don't know where the vases are. Right, I've had one of them days. Right, let's get the keys, get a coat, and get into town. Right, we're out and it's light. So even on our Sunday little jaunts when we've been coming out, it's always been dark. Another week and the clocks change. Right, so we're just down from the Atlantic, which is just down there from where we are. And it's a Monday, so a lot of places are closed on a Monday, but this one's open, and it's going to be a first visit for us. Right, sorry, right, so the door's here, right, found it, okay. There we go. So I might so gonna have that as a sharing starter, and I'm gonna go for a lobster ravioli and a pint of Moretti. What are you going for, Sandra?
Going with spinach and ricotta ravioli that I've for ages and having an alcohol-free.
There you go. Yeah. Quite nice. So there is special garlic mushrooms, sausage and pea risotto, and special paella and others. It's a big special board. Hang on a moment. Quick, possible change of plan. Look at that. That's. Oh wow. We're in an Italian, I don't know if you can hear, we've got to watch out for get copyrights right, and we're banging along to a bit of the Smiths. If a 10-ton truck crashes into us, to die by your side would be a heavenly way to go. Quick twirl, there you go, beautiful. Fed and watered. How was that? So that was we were just trying to weigh things up. Our first Lincolnshire wedding anniversary meal together on our wedding anniversary day. Did I get that right?
Something like that.
How are you doing, salad? I was waiting for you to call me. I'm all right, my little salami.
That sounds a bit rude, though.
Nothing rude about that at all. Right, we've got the bright lights of Skegness ahead, so we won't be recording, I don't think. But we're going to go and have another hour out, and it's a school night, Sandra. It's literally a school night. I ended up having a half of a Moretti. I'm going to the car.
I'm not driving.
You can drive up there. No, go get a car. I ended up actually having a half of a Moretti. That's how bad things were. We have driven. It was only a 2-minute walk away, but the courtyard where we were had a barrier. And I said, Sandy, if the restaurant closes or whatever, you're going to get locked in. You've been wheel clamped. Rebel.
It's just so early. But you have a point. There was nobody else in, so they might have closed early.
Yeah, because they closed early. Right, okay, right. The neon lights of Skegness. Here we come. What are you looking at? What are you looking at? You're a bit weary today, Vasha. She doesn't really want to go for a long walk today. Right, it's the morning after, as you can probably notice. So we ended up with a really enjoyable night out last night for our first wedding anniversary together in Lincolnshire. So there was always the perils of being a campsite warden, is things like birthdays and wedding anniversaries and other celebrations were often spent apart, not together. And those days are behind. So I think I mentioned I really poorly for 2 days. On Friday we had some fish in the fridge. It was a couple of days out of date, and on Saturday I woke up Saturday and I felt rubbish, really rubbish, and I ended up going to bed Saturday afternoon anyway. I think it's got to have been that caused the problem. I did have that great big burger, but I was already ill before that, and me being me, I just carry on regardless. Anyway, feeling a lot better today. I had a good night's sleep last night. Sally's gone to work. I'm doing my usuals today, and my day is starting off with a walk with Rasha. And I think I'll finish this vlog off here because, as I say, it continued on last night. and we went into the Atlantic, and we didn't video in there and everything, but anyway, there we are. So as ever, thanks ever so much for watching, if you've stayed here right to the very, very end. And for our new subscribers, thanks ever so much for subscribing to the channel. Remember, you can like, comment and subscribe if you've not already done so, and if you have done so, you're bloody marvellous. Take it easy, keep smiling.